Yurt?
Or nerd.
Well, you should say or tiny home. That would have worked perfect.
I liked a nerd.
Which one will it be? Yurt, tiny home? We'll talk about that today. We've been going back and forth. Yurt, tiny house.
Or nerd. Alright, start over again, I'll be serious.
Alright. Walking?
Yes.
We've been going back over. So we've been back in tiny. It's early. We didn't have our coffee yet. We're on our way out the door. You try.
We've been going back and forth, Yurt versus the tiny home apartment above the garage.
There are a lot of pros and cons to both. And you, in the comments below of yesterday's video, right there, offered lots of pros and cons, some that we thought of, some that we didn't.
Because this is a decision that has to be made rather quickly, because we have to start building pretty much now. We have made a decision, which is unlike us to decide so quickly. Hush now, hush. Nobody's starving. Benefits of a yurt would be it's beautiful. They're so aesthetically pleasing. Inside they're so light and bright. You really feel in touch, closer to nature. We could use it as an Airbnb in the future. And it would be easier to do kind of off-grid. It would really be cool to have that experience. Ooh, come here, you. Back to you. Baby goat drop.
One of the big pulls for, oh, you're in it.
Sure.
A little lower. You're so cute. You're so cute and short. One of the really big pulls for me for the tiny home apartment above the garage is the fact that I already wanted to put a studio there. And in plans for the studio were a little kitchenette so that we could film Homesteady cooking videos in the studio, and a bathroom because of bathroom.
The studio above the garage would definitely be less expensive than a yurt. Hopefully it comes in at the price that a yurt, a 30-foot yurt would cost us.
The tiny home apartment up above the garage, it also has some really good pros. For example, it's already built. There's already walls, ceiling, insulation. There's already electricity, lights. We wouldn't need to put in a foundation or any excavating. Overall, it probably would be faster to have something finished into that building because the shell and the electric are already there. A lot of people talked about the idea of building the yurt, living in it, and then when we moved out, listing it on like Airbnb and making some extra money from renting out a yurt. They said it might be more appealing for an Airbnb-er to be staying in a yurt. It's a cool looking building, it's unique, and you'd be out amongst the animals. That was a great point, and a lot of people are making a lot of money with Airbnb using even yurts. However, for us, There were a couple reasons why that didn't appeal so much to us. First, the area we're moving to is not quite a tourist area. There's not a lot of people going there in the first place. So we wouldn't be able to get the same amount of money that maybe a yurt here where we are now could get. And we don't really want to have strangers coming onto the property that we don't know at all, just there to do the B&B thing. In our experience on a working farm, people show up and they don't know how to act around animals, and we now have some very large livestock that we wouldn't want somebody getting injured on. People who don't work on a farm or homestead or grow up on a farm and homestead, they just don't understand how to interact with the animals. And now that we have this really beautiful large animals that are very valuable and also can be dangerous, it's just not really a liability that we're interested in bringing onto our homestead.
So I don't wear a ball cap to milk because I need to go like this. I kept whacking her in the side. I couldn't find my hat this morning. We did a big cleanup yesterday because the inspector was coming. And I do not know where I put my hat. This was a hard decision for me because I want to live in a yurt. I don't know if I want to live in it with 4 kids though, so. What helped me make the decision was I really want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. If we're putting the time and money into renovating a space or building a space, I want it after the 6 months to have 2 purposes. Garage space makes the most sense for money and for afterwards, not only being able to use it as a guest space, but also a studio for Austin.
A lot of commenters yesterday warned of mixing the studio with a guest space. They said it's a waste of your studio and you don't want to be working over people, over your guests when they come and visit in your studio space. And those were very good points. But the nature of my business and what we're doing now here on YouTube, I'm not going to be in the studio doing big projects every day. It's there for projects, like bulk projects, but it's not there for daily use. Most of the time we're filming outside during this. So I don't have to be in the studio every single day. Plus, I already wanted the studio to have the kitchen because we film cooking videos on Homesteady and it's super annoying to put professional lighting in our regular kitchen where the kids are trying to get snacks and things. It just doesn't work good. So now we'll have a set kitchen for filming Homesteady cooking videos, which means like every week we could do a Homestead cook video. And I already wanted like a little sitting area with a viewing screen to preview our projects. So when I'm done with the project, we can all sit on the couch and watch. I was already gonna build all that. I don't mind not working in the studio when there are guests. All the downsides to using the tiny home studio space really aren't big downsides for us. Whereas the yurt was gonna be twice as much money and work in the long run because I still wanted to do this studio. Open this door.
You have a guest already. We've made our decision. We're not usually big on making quick decisions like this, but seeing as how we have to start plumbing it now, kinda we're forced to. Have to.
The 5-gallon nest boxes we built in that video, they're working great. They're still not the preferred nest box of the chickens. They still all choose the biggest one here. But there are plenty of chickens using those 5-gallon buckets, and they're cheap. So we have made the decision. It will be a tiny home for us.
It's above the garage space.
We're calling it the tiny home because it's essentially 1,000 square feet, and the tiny homes are 1,000 square feet or less. So we're gonna experience for the next 6 months
Tiny home living.
Take a look at the plans. In tomorrow's video, we're going to share with you 3 plans that I've put together, 3D tours of potential layouts for the tiny home / studio.
Tell us what you think of them. Anything we're not considering.
Yeah, because by the end of the week, we're gonna start rolling on making this tiny home a reality for us for the next 6 months.
If you've done something like this, put an apartment above a garage, let us know how you did it, how you dealt with the heating, the plumbing, the insulating, running wires and pipes and everything.
Yeah, we don't want stuff to freeze. We're gonna have plumbing and electrical, so definitely we'd love advice. And if you have any great space-saving tips for living in 1,000 square feet with 6 humans, we'd love to hear them.